why do we use excuses? Why do you use excuses in your life? What is the reason for that? And we know we've all done it. And excuse is something that we're going to make up something so we don't have to do something. It's either something that we don't want to do or something that we want to do but we're just avoiding it. But the reasons for that always come down to one thing. It's fear. It's fear of either doing that thing, owning ourselves, or fear of telling the truth. You know how you make up an excuse where you can't go somewhere with someone, they ask you to go, but you make up some other excuse because you don't really want to tell them the truth, because then you don't want to hurt their feelings or cause them to feel bad in some way. But the truth is you just can't own yourself, and you can't own your own decisions or your own autonomy for deciding that you have a right to have this particular goal or something that you want to do. But then there can be other times where you're just in fear. You're in fear because you don't think you can do the thing that you're making up the excuse about, because if I make up an excuse, then I don't have to do it. Or you don't think it's you. You think that maybe the thing that you're supposed to do is someone else. And so then you'll use the imposter syndrome. That'll become one of the greatest excuses that we use, because it's not me who can do this, it's someone else that's supposed to do it. So I'm just going to hide. I can say this because that's what I've done. And today I'm going to change that, and hoping that you do the same thing. There are changes happening all around us in our world, and so now would be probably the best time for you to change and to let go of your excuses. And that's what I'm doing. And that's also the title of a message I received on this date 5 years ago. It was called Love Your Excuses. And that was something that came from Wilhelm, which I had been given many years ago, because it got me to look at the fact that I was just making up excuses for not doing something because I was afraid. That's all that it was. I was just so afraid because I said, I can't tell people who I am. I can't really own myself. People will leave me. People will disown me. Or they won't believe me. Whatever it is, I can't do it, and so I'm going to have that excuse. And then there comes a time where you can no longer do that, because you recognize that all you're doing is delaying your own success. You're delaying your own progress in whatever it is that you know you want to do. And that's what I've done. But today is the day I can reveal it to you. So I'm going to read that message to you first, and then I'm going to explain it, because it will also explain the current message that's on my site, any advice for today, and then also why I wrote an article yesterday about the philosophy that could change your life and our world. See, because for me to tell you that, because I know that it's true, but to say those words, I'm in fear that people are going to say, you're just out of your mind. We can't do that. We definitely can't change our lives. And the world, that's ridiculous. We couldn't possibly do that. Except I keep hearing all the time, well, you have a way. You have a way. We've given you a way. That's what I hear from Wilhelm. And that's what has been demonstrated and what I've experienced in my life. But telling you became a little different, because then I have to move beyond my disbelief and yours as well. But I'll read you the message, because the other thing I discovered, there's order in the world, in our universe. Nothing's happening accidentally, which is one of the other messages that came through on this state. We just think that it does, but that's because we haven't figured it out yet. But this message will help quite a bit. And it was uncomfortable when I received it, but it's much more comfortable today, especially after writing the article yesterday. Love your excuses. The corrected version. Why we said to Roger in our previous version, which none of you have seen, as Roger accidentally deleted the message, was to look at his excuses. You may wonder why he deleted the message, and he knows the subject itself is challenging for him. We will give you the condensed version, which may even make more sense to you now. We told of Roger's restless night where he attempted to blame all others for his disturbance. This behavior is not new to him. First, he tried to direct it to his roommate, but that is a familiar excuse easily uncovered. You might ask why he and you have done this, and we will give you the answer. We have spoken of the references to 2005, where Roger discovered a folder that contained dreams he had, which he remembered and tried to ignore. Roger even told himself it was only a dream and not to be taken seriously, so he could just ignore it. He has not been able to do that for more than these last 15 years, and you have not been able to do it either. The dream told him who he wanted to be in this life, and he knew he volunteered for it, but then immediately doubted it was real, or more importantly, that he could do it or had the ability. You each have done that. When he couldn't sleep, he accidentally turned on a video where the speaker said, "I am speaking directly to you. You have doubted yourself for years, but now is the time for you to change that." We paraphrased heavily. We said to love your excuses as those are the words we gave Roger years ago, and he even turned them into a process he has in his online program. When you decide to love them rather than judge them or you will achieve your goal of becoming a self-empowered person. We told Roger and you that you teach what you need to learn, and only now does it make sense to him. And that is absolutely true. Because I discovered several things as receiving this work. There is an order in the universe, and when you come into alignment with who you are, then your excuses leave as well, because you're no longer hiding from yourself. But when you develop something that's new, which each of us is meant to do, we can also hold back because it's an unknown of us and our world, or what we think is possible. And that's what's happened for me. Because I said in that message and I wrote yesterday that I knew that this work could heal anyone's life, could take any person to becoming who they're meant to be in this world, because you move through all your doubts and your fears, and then you can possibly heal. Well, because I experienced mind-body healing from this work, because we begin to understand everything is in consciousness, everything is energy. Mindset is the most important thing that you have. It's the tool that you use and develop, and this work has you develop your mindset. That's exactly what it is. And I can talk about it so much, but people will think that's not possible. And I will tell you all the different ways that I know it is possible. And I even shared a video from August 1st of 2023 where it went through the entire idea of what this work is and what I have received from Wilhelm. And nothing that's happening in our world is accidental, because all of that information was given to us as well, because we're moving through energetic changes which are affecting you. You're feeling something you felt for the longest time, and it's about, am I going to do that next thing in my life? How long am I going to be here? When am I going to finally do it? When am I going to let go of my excuses? Well, I'm doing that now, because there are way too many people depending on me, and that's how it feels. And I have this I have this guilt that comes up when I didn't do it. So that's what I'm doing now. So I wrote the article yesterday, and I'd love for you to read it, because I'm going to prove to you that you are meant to have this incredible life. I spent my entire life developing this work, which combines personal development, self-actualization, and ascension tools, so that you reach the highest state of consciousness that you possibly could. And I know that happens because I've experienced it. And I keep talking about my age, and you'll hear that in that video too. But because I'll be 75 in a few months, and everything that had gone wrong before is now reversing. And you can do the same thing, because it's when we decide that we're going to let go of our excuses and do something. And I'm finishing this work, and that's letting go of my excuse, because I was like shocked. How could that have happened? The 2005 dream was when I was told, and it was a very vivid dream, that the only one I've remembered, where I was told I was given something to bring to the world, that it would make a huge difference in the world, and also in anyone's life who might use it. That's already been demonstrated, because it's on the testimonials that you'll hear, because I know that it's right. But then having others believe that was more challenging, and for me, because of the way that I received it. I received it intuitively, but it was matched with scientific principles and the quantum field, and that's why it worked. And that's what I'm giving to those who really want to become their best self. But what I've done, because I'm changing things around, as I've said often, but now what's happening is that I'm just taking 5 people, and there's a special little intro gift that you'll have, a little a discount that will show you that you can do all of this, and anybody can do it. You can even finance it if you want through PayPal. But what I'm going to show you is that you can have this incredible life. You can move to the greatest level of success, and I'm going to prove it through this work because I know that it does that. And then I'm going to, after this injection, I'm going to then change the whole price to like what people told me years ago I should have done, 5,000. But as you hear in that video, I needed to prove it first. But now I know. I know that it can give you the life you want to have and help you move through any difficulty or challenge because I've done them. I know that it works, and so that's why I'm saying that. So when you go to the site, I'll leave all of this in the description. Just put in webinar 30 and you'll see the discount, and redeem that in the code there and you'll see it. But what I'm telling you is that there's no excuses that can hold you back now. We've been given the answers. That's what I'm trying to say. Wilhelm gave us the answers about how to use our consciousness, use our mindset to change, and develop who we're meant to be. That means who you're meant to be. And that's someone who is unique and meant to be on the earth at this time. So do check it all out and read the article, and you'll see it's time for you to become your best self. See you soon.